All right, y'all. So today I want to talk about if I were to start from scratch, pretty much what I would do. And after been doing full-time videography, photography, yeah, full-time for about 15 months now. I quit my job sometime last year. And prior to that, I've been doing this, I guess, as a part-time or on the side for about 4 years. And through all those years, all these works, all these experiences, I learned a lot. And one thing you kind of do, which I will hope people, or I wish I would help, or hope I can help people avoid in the future, is don't overspend and don't buy too much gear that you don't need. So pretty much, I'll just talk about what you would need as a beginner if you really want to start making money with your camera, and yeah, just advice on that. So number one I'll say is obviously you need a camera, right? Even if you have your phone like iPhone 12 up until the 17 that just came out, I think you can start even with that. But I'm gonna more so speak about mirrorless cameras instead, because that's what I actually do use to make money and make income. So I would definitely get a possibly a crop sensor camera. They are cheaper and they give really great quality. And the camera that I'm using right now to even film me is the Sony 6700. It is a crop sensor camera from Sony. It uses crop sensor lenses. So I think something like that is a good bet, but you can even get cheaper with I think the ZV-E10. Again, Sony has a lot of crazy names, so hopefully I said that right, but it's a ZV-E10. It's a crop sensor as well. It has S-Log 3, and it is super dope. I used to have the first model of it, and I know the second model is that much better. And I'm pretty sure it shares the same sensor that you're seeing that I'm recording on right now. So I'll get one of those cameras. Then I'll definitely get a tripod. I'm using two tripods actually right now. I got something filming the BTS, and I'm filming myself right now, and just get a sturdy tripod. Don't go too cheap on it. Try to maybe spend like $100 if you could on a really solid tripod, right? Again, we talk about mirrorless cameras here, and then get a lens that it has a standard zoom range. So in that case, we'd probably be looking at like the Sigma 18 to 50, 2.8, I believe. I think that will be a great option to start with. I'm currently using the 17 to 40 on 1.8, but it is twice the cost of the 18 to 50. And based off of people, what I've seen, the results, it's not that much difference from what I'm using. Obviously, the only thing different with 17 to 40 is 1.8, you get an extra stop of light. And because I do a lot of weddings and I'm in low light scenarios, I decided to go with that. But if I was to begin with, I'll just go with the 18 to 50 and guarantee you, if you do what you're supposed to, it'll be amazing. Next, after that, I would definitely invest in light. So I got a key light hitting me right now. It's like you can't really film without having good lighting. You know what I mean? Excuse me, my phone just went off. But yeah, you can't really film without having good lighting, or especially when we're talking about beginner cameras, because unless you have a Sony A7S3, and you can just bump that ISO to I don't know, 120. I don't know. I don't even have it. So, but you can bump that ISO to mad high and get the cleanest image in low light. But for the rest of us, we gotta kind of stick to lighting up our scenes and making sure that it looks the way it needs to look to the best of our ability. So I would suggest, crucially, invest in the light and invest in some good audio. I'm using the DJI Mic Mini 2, I believe. I'm pretty sure it sounds amazing. And yeah, so if you can get one of these, but you don't have to even get the DJI. There's a lot more affordable options out there. I believe I can't really get the name, but I know there's a lot of good options out there. Even Comica, I use a Comica lavalier microphone. I've been using it for the last 3 years. I paid about $100 to get that. So regardless of the fact, get yourself a good audio piece, whether it be an on-camera one. I wouldn't suggest that, but I'll suggest something like a lavalier or one of these ones. It's not lavalier, but it still works the same way. And I would get a lens, a standard zoom. Again, my suggestion would be to get the Sigma, if you're using Sony, of course, to get this. Or I think this lens is on a lot of different brands now, to tell you the truth. So get the Sigma 18 to 50. It's amazing. I know it for a fact. And get yourself a crop sensor camera, solid tripod, audio, and lighting, and you can get the ball rolling with just those four things right there. Now, the next question you might be asking, all right, what do I shoot? So I would say start with, obviously not everything's going to be paid right off the bat. So if you have somebody that you know that's either a realtor or has a small business or has anything that they're trying to service out there, offer them a free shoot. You know what I mean? Explain to them that you're a beginner, or you're trying to build up your portfolio. You don't always have to tell that to people, but I mean, in this case, if they don't, like, it just depends on your relationship, right? So be thorough and be thoughtful about how you want to approach people, right? But at the end of the day, let them know that it is a free shoot, and you want to build your portfolio, or go in there knowing that this is why you're doing it, and you just want to help them out, and you don't have to explain that you want it for your portfolio and whatnot. Do that. Get those jitters, get all of that little, like, sometimes you might not figure out how to do white balancing properly. Your audio situation might be different. Like, on a set, there's so many things that can happen. So when you get to practice with intent with somebody that you're comfortable with, and they may not expect the most greatest outcomes, it gives you that freedom to actually have a little bit of wiggle room where you might have an error of operator, or you just may not have planned for something and stuff can kind of go wrong. So I definitely suggest that. And then the industry, I'll probably say, if you're into photography, try to do portraits, do something portraits for family, stuff like that. That's kind of how I got into it. Or do product, cars, toys, perfume, stuff like that. I think it's a good way to start out with. And then for me, my own journey, I did almost everything at the beginning, my first year. And then I don't like to say no unless I try something. So I tried it all. You know what I mean? I did nighttime clubs, I did maternity shoot, I did everything, in my opinion, that I wanted to, that I would feel like I'm comfortable of trying. And I come to realize I don't want to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm more comfortable doing A, B, and C. And now even A, B, and C is starting to go down to just A and B, right? So it's an all gradual transition to your end goal at the end of the day, right? So with that all being said, again, I didn't want to make this video too in depth and too, just adding too much information in there. But I do want to let people know you don't need much. And again, like I said at the beginning, if you just want to use your phone, get a phone, and I'll suggest to get a gimbal, some kind of motorized gimbal, and go. Just start shooting. Make an account on your social media page, put your portfolio out there. If you do get a little bit of money that you're willing to use in promotion, do a concept shoot, or do, like I said, a free shoot for somebody, or do a concept shoot. Do it to the best of your ability, put a little bit of money behind it, promote it, and I'm guaranteeing you somebody would at least inquire. And then from there, it's a whole nother video that could talk about how to onboard somebody to become a client, or that whole nine. It's a whole different scenario, and I think people don't put enough effort into it, and I do. So I just don't want to just talk about it quickly. I do actually want to make a video strictly for that. But definitely, if you get the inquiries, reply as soon as you can. Get your pricings or whatever your packages are. Have that down pat before you even start promoting it. And yeah, just reply properly, appropriately, and chances are you might get that gig. Price appropriately too. Not to say keep it low, but if you feel like your deliverables won't reach some high end cost, don't do that to yourself, right? Keep it reasonable. And yeah, I think that's about it, man. So again, if you're a beginner photographer or videographer, get yourself a crop sensor camera, get yourself a standard zoom lens. I'll suggest a Sigma 18 to 50. Get yourself a solid tripod, it's very important, and get yourself a good light source. I'm using, I think, an Amaron 60 watt. I paid about like what, 150 or so for it. I have a softbox on it, so those four right there will allow you to be in a professional state, and obviously get a stand for your light, right? Some of them do come with it, but get a stand for your light. And that might be about let me see, that might round you about 1500. Honestly, if you can use that 1500 wisely, and you don't have to buy everything brand new. Facebook Marketplace is great. Obviously, do your due diligence. Make sure this person has at least 4 stars and up, and trustworthy and whatnot. But honestly, 1500 can get you 2,000 within a month if you do it right. So that's it for today, y'all. This is Albert Gorman. If you made it this far, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully this helped out somebody out there. I got custom LUTs as well. I'm about to be doing a lot more tutorials, a lot more BTS. I will be making a members only page where I'll be really breaking stuff down, giving y'all the details on how I run my business and how it can help you run your business. So again, thank you so much for checking this video out. Check out my other videos wherever they are. They could be anywhere on the screen, but just check them out too. I'm gonna try to stay consistent. We all trying to grow together. So I teach one to reach one to teach one. You know the phrase, right? So that being said, I'm out. Peace. Thank y'all.